Hey there, magical experimenters. This is Taylor Elwood, your mad scientist and magical experimenter. And today I want to talk about the importance of choosing the people that you work with and how you choose those people. The reality is that many people are solitaries there for various reasons. Maybe they can't be out in the community, maybe they just haven't found people to work with. And that's perfectly okay because for a long time I was a solitary myself, so I get that. But I think that when you get to the point, if you get to the point where you feel like, hey, I want to work with some other people, it's important to keep some criteria in mind. And so I'm going to share that with you. And this is stuff I've learned over the years. Um, the first criteria to keep in mind is that you really want to make sure the person is sane. And what do I mean by that? I mean that basically they don't have lots of drama. They don't have lots of messiness going on in their lives that they're going to be bringing into yours. Remember that when you're doing magic with somebody, that you're not just doing magic with them, you're probably inviting them into your life in general. And so the question you have to ask yourself is, do I really want to deal with the drama of this person's life? And myself, I prefer to hang out with people who are low drama, low maintenance. Maybe they may have some issues or what have you, but they don't take up the entire space because when that happens, it takes up the energy, and of course, we don't really want to have that kind of energy taken up. The other criteria that I like to use is, does the person actually really know what they're talking about? I mean, have they really had experiences with magic that tells me I can learn from them? Now, don't get me wrong, there may be somebody that's just starting out and they may not have had a lot of experiences, but they're someone that you want to work with, and that's okay. But just keep in mind that sometimes people talk a good game, but that doesn't necessarily mean they've actually played the game. I think that a lot of times people, um, you kind of want to get a sense as to what they've actually done, and if their claims seem outlandish, they probably are. So that's another criteria that I use in terms of figuring out like who I would work with and why. Um, Another criteria that I like to use in terms of figuring out who I'm going to work with is a criteria based basically on how they feel energetically, and that's a little different than just the book knowledge and all that. It's a spiritual sense of the person. You want to get a sense as to who they are spiritually. Does their energy feel right? Do they feel off in any way? Is there anything that tells that gives your intuition a warning? These are things to pay attention to because again, this person may be very composed, they may have all the right answers, but there may be just something that doesn't feel right. And if you feel that way, you need to honor that. Don't put yourself into a situation where you're working with somebody where it doesn't feel quite right. And if you get and a bit of other advice is that if you are working with people and you decide that somebody you're working with is unhealthy for you, walk away. You don't owe anybody anything that, should keep you in a situation or in a relationship that's unhealthy. It's important to just know when to walk away, uh, and not to walk away when it's too late. I'll give you an example. Many years ago, I was working with this one guy, and there was, you know, he had a lot of knowledge and he seemed like he didn't have a lot of drama, but there was something off about him energetically, and I didn't pay attention to it. I ended up working with him, and the end result was that I had a couple traumatic experiences. And I finally walked away because I realized that this was not a healthy person to be spending time with or working magic with. If you get that sense of intuition right from the get-go or at any time, it's okay to walk away. Don't keep yourself in a situation that's not healthy for you. Remember that when you're working with people magically, you're choosing to share a very intimate part of yourself. And so it's important to know that and recognize it, and also recognize the value of having good boundaries. All right then, take care, and I hope you have a magical week, and I'll talk to you soon.